Oh man, the WNBA is quite possibly the worst professional sports league in existence. And I'm not even talking about the quality of play. On top of that, of course, the WNBA media could be even worse. It is the most ridiculous group of media members, of so called journalists and reporters in existence. Listen to this, and we're going to get into some of the Cathy Engelbert comments as well. This is from Josh Graham, the Josh Graham Show. Cathy Engelbert took questions for 20 minutes at the WNBA All Star game, yet nobody asked a single question about Caitlin Clark, whose treatment and discourse surrounding her have been the biggest stories in the sport this season, might even be the biggest story in sports. I added that sentence. And he finishes up as a media person watching, I was stunned. Think about that for a second. Think about everything that Caitlin Clark has brought to the WNBA. And I don't mean just the good, but everything else that has surrounded Caitlin Clark, her treatment, the harassment, the incidents with her fan because of the accusations from other players in the league, and on and on and on. Hey, an actual stalker, right? Because we're going to get into some things Cathy Engelbert says that it'd be a great time to bring up the fact that Caitlin Clark actually had a real live stalker who got arrested. We're going to get into that. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate all of your support. Do me a quick favor if you're enjoying the content. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you already subscribed, make sure you still are because YouTube gets funky. Okay, so how about asking Cathy Engelbert about the harassment and treatment of Caitlin Clark? We know that you all love to talking about social media. Some of these stuff, so we're not even talking about DMs that went to Caitlin Clark because she never brings them up. She never talks about them, unlike some other players. But there's plenty of stuff out there publicly in terms of comments about Caitlin Clark. Again, a media member calling her a school you know what, also calling her a man, Antonio Brown calling her a man, many other people as well, saying some of the most nasty, vile things. Not once have I heard Cathy Engelbert talk about that and denounce it and say how it has to change. Media, maybe you could ask about that. Or maybe you could ask about the physical targeting of Caitlin Clark on the court going on year 3 now, and all of the flagrant fouls and all of the hits to the head that she has suffered that don't even get called at all. The Brianna Stewart one being the most recent, right? The Dejanay Carrington eye poke, the Kennedy Carter, the Marina Mabrey, the Diamond DeShields, the Angel Reese. We could go on and on and on. Not a single question. Could the media ask about the repeated fake accusations of Caitlin Clark fans yelling racial slurs? We've had Alyssa Thomas do it multiple times, as well as saying she believed Angel Reese, who did it to the point where you actually investigated the Caitlin Clark fans, found nothing, of course, because there was nothing to find because in a stadium of 17,000 people that is televised, not getting that on audio and video, or at least audio, the chances of that are nil. We all knew an investigation wouldn't find anything because that stuff would have been out there right away. By the way, you never did apologize. We had Brittany Griner also making fake accusations about slurs being yelled at her and teammates. Apparently, it's a very common thing, yet not once has it been caught on audio and video. Do you have a comment, Cathy Engelbert? Hey, maybe ask questions about the messy dating drama of the humpin' not hoopin' WNBA. By the way, I want to shout out CJ, the W360. I use that a lot. I mean, it's kind of out there now, so I'm not going to say it anytime, but she came up with that phrase, I think, back in 2024. And I just say that because it was used on Jason Whitlock's show. And this is, I'm not even mentioning the name because it's not, it does, but they said it, someone said it, and now it's like all out there about how it was used on Jason Whitlock. And anyway, It was CJ at the W360 who got that started. Anyway, those are just some of the things the media could ask about. But now let's take a listen. It's short. I think this is less than a minute. We're going to take a listen to what Cathy Engelbert did say, what she had to say about things going on in the WNBA.
Other threats. So, with too many players across the WNBA have experienced is unacceptable. In many cases, it's disgusting. The racism, the misogyny, the homophobia, the harassment, and threats directed to our players has no place in sport or anywhere else. This is their workplace. It has no place. So, as you all know, because you all cover us, the WNBA is built on inclusion and respect, and those values have defined this league for 30 years. So
Like, I what? What are we even talking about here? What are we even talking about here? First of all, you are absolutely not include. This is brain dead stuff. This is brain dead stuff. Truly, you are not inclusive in any way, shape, or form. You hate the WNBA as a league, hates anyone who has a different belief or a different opinion than they do. And it only has to be on one thing on a long list of things. Again, Atlanta Dream owner booted out, forced out simply for not wanting her players to make things political and just wanting them to focus on basketball. White, straight, popular, not bending the knee, all things not at all inclusive about. Or that was poorly stated, but you know what I'm saying. They do not like that. They are not going to be inclusive about those things. You're not only exclusive from what we've seen, you're violent as a league to those things that you reject, that you disagree with. And I said a lot of those things, white, straight, popular, didn't bend the knee. You can put them all on Caitlin Clark, but also just individually, right? Kelsey Plum, the way she was treated. I mean, she even came out and talked about how the black ladies in the league trying to take her head off because nothing like Caitlin Clark, but she came into the league as a white girl who was the all-time NCAA leading scorer who could ball. They didn't like that. But again, not just that. Candace Wiggins, not white, but straight, bullied out of the league. There is nothing inclusive about the WNBA. There is a lot violent about the WNBA. And oh, by the way, because you like to unthinkingly use buzzwords like inclusive, let's not forget you're a professional sports league. You're exclusive by definition. You don't let anyone into the league who to play who simply wants to play. It is such an absurdity when people talk about, "Oh, we're built on inclusivity." No, no, you aren't. Nothing is. That's the reality, and it's not bad to be exclusive. In fact, in a lot of cases, it's good and smart to be exclusive. What you did, Cathy Engelbert, because you are terrified of your players, is you repeated the same old, now meaningless buzzwords that because it's all you and everyone like you does, it has zero impact on anyone. People roll their eyes when they hear it now. No one cares about it anymore. You did not have a single legitimate thought in that spiel that you just gave, right? The ism, the ist, the phobe, every time. I love the phobe, irrational fear of. No, see, again, these are the words used when someone simply disagrees with one, which goes one, again, you're not inclusive because you use those lists of words to attack people who have a different opinion than you do. By the way, that whole attack, of course, was directed at Caitlin Clark fans because that's where everyone assumes that it comes from when you are defending violent people like Alyssa Thomas. When you are defending violent people like Marina Mabrey, Diamond DeShields, Kennedy Carter, and again, the list goes on and on. This is an embarrassment. The WNBA from top to bottom is an embarrassment. And ladies, I'm going to apologize. So many wonderful, smart, accomplished women out there. Okay. So this is not to you, but specifically to the women of the WNBA have to clean house. None of them belong there. They're all too emotional. They're all interested in humping, not hooping. They're all up in their feels about everything. And they've turned, I shouldn't say turned. The league's been always been a mess. We need new leadership. It is time to give male leadership a shot because they need tough leadership if they are going to change this league. They need someone a lot more like David Stern than Cathy Engelbert. And by the way, if it helps all the women I just offended, although again, it's not about you, Adam Silver is way, way, way more like Cathy Engelbert than he is David Stern. The WNBA does not need a male like Adam Silver because that gives them a male like Cathy Engelbert. So hopefully y'all know the difference that I'm talking about. But yeah, man, Cathy, time to go. Time to go. And I've said this before to some people, say behind the scenes, like there may be a lot of the commissioner stuff we don't see that Cathy does well, but the things she doesn't do well, right? These conversations, not handling the Caitlin Clark situation since she got in the league well, et cetera, is enough that she just has to go. A change needs to be made at the top, and we just got to slowly clean them all out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later.